Okay, open the door. Thank you.
I need to get a work SIM card. Andy Blair's due his work bonus birthday, but yeah, sure. Should have got a. Back.
Hello. How are you? I am.
Hello. How are we doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, put your seatbelt on as well, please.
Yeah, you're alright.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
I hope you don't mind. I'm doing a little video.
That's absolutely fine. So, welcome. Have you guys done this experience with us before?
No.
Brilliant. So we're running Range Rover this year in line with the 55th year of building Range Rovers.
Yep.
And it's just a good way of exhibiting the product, showing you what the vehicle can do. This is really capable. Of course, when you think of Range Rover, you think of luxury, refinement, effortlessness. It's quiet, it's comfortable, the materials and the touch points, the features. So everything needs to be just Range Rover, but it also needs to be capable, and that lives up to our heritage. So driving around the course here, we get to show you some of that. And it's a bit of a simulation because of the obstacles we're driving on. So the first thing we're going to do here, we call it the witch's hat. It's just a banked corner to drive around. Makes the vehicle lean, gets the wheels off the ground a bit as well.
Do you have to adjust any settings to get the car to do that? Will it automatically realise what's going on and just change?
A bit of both. So some of the key settings have already been done. So we've got the air suspension pumped up really high. Yep. All right. We've got it in a low set of gears, which means it finds it a lot easier to crawl over anything that's in its way.
Yeah.
And then there'll be some other things which will change as we drive along. In fact, one thing we're going to change right now. So as we drive over this obstacle here, we've got some metal rollers underneath, and they simulate driving on ice. So of course at the moment the vehicle isn't fully prepared for that, and it's not going to be at its best. So when we know we're driving on a frozen road on a snowy morning, we go into the modes, we go into the off-road modes, and we pick the most appropriate setting from the options. The one I'm describing here is going to be this one, grass, gravel, snow. So it represents driving on a firm surface but with a low level of grip. So as we go over here, the front wheels get onto these rollers, and if you were just driving a front wheel drive car, you would just now start to sit here and spin, the front wheels would spin.
Yeah.
But these red symbols here, they tell a story. The more they go red, the more the full all-wheel drive system, the four wheels are connecting. You can see it's gone quite red at the moment because of the lack of traction, but the vehicle makes sure it uses all the wheels.
Wow.
And then as we come down, it's gone green, or it's going green more often, it's relaxing. So that's the simulation device. We'll go back to normal comfort program. Something to notice here is that the vehicle's got a really good turning circle. So the Range Rover now comes with all-wheel steering. So when I get to the last part here where I want to turn in for the ramp, I put the steering on full steering lock, and you feel it turns really tightly because it's got the rear wheels. I can go a little bit longer, turn in a bit more. It's got a really good turning circle.
Yeah, brilliant.
So climbing up over here gives us the opportunity to experience the crawling speed this vehicle can drive at. You don't have to rush, there's no momentum involved. So I can drive up here literally as slowly as I want. Automatic gears, automatic gearbox, no clutch. We've got the low ratio gears, which Range Rovers have always had, which just mean that the vehicle can drive over obstacles really slowly, really easily. So we're not revving the engine really high, we're not getting it hot, we're not stressing and straining anything. Got the cameras here to help me check my alignment. And up we go. And then down the other side. The other benefit of having the air suspension lifted means that the clearance is really good. So the approach angle on the front bumper, the departure angle on the rear bumper, much more clearance. So it will touch on something somewhere, but by lifting it up, we make it much more capable.
Brilliant, that was awesome.
Going over this obstacle here, I'm going to put the vehicle into a different program. I'm going to select the rock crawling program. So when we go rock crawling, it's very similar to this. This is a very high grip surface. There's lots of grip here, but the wheels aren't always in contact with the ground. So the suspension will move up and down. And when the suspension is at full reach, it can't quite stick to the ground. The wheel goes into the air. That wheel isn't going to contribute to us moving forward. So we only want the wheels that have got the best grip with the best weight on them to do the work.
So clever.
And the front wheel my side is just coming off the ground. It's actually off the ground now. There'll be a little bit of seesawing here, that guys. There we go. But we can see these lock symbols have gone red, telling you that story that the all-wheel drive system is working fully at the moment. Something to notice with the rock crawl program is that the symbols stay red quite a lot of the time, which is unnecessary here, and in fact that's going to contribute to excessive tyre wear, fuel consumption. It's just overkill. So let's go back to comfort program. The vehicle will just relax and the symbols will go green. There we go. So the next obstacle we go over is a very steep hill climb that becomes a very steep descent. So we drive up the hill. It's somewhere in the mid-20s of degrees when we go up the hill, and then it's way over 30 degrees when we go down the other side. When we go down the other side, I'm actually going to take my feet off the brakes. So we've got a system on the car called hill descent control. Hill descent control has been around for a long time, since 1997, and it's showing here that it's on. And what it is, in other words, it's an automatic brake. So when we go down the hill on the other side, I will actually take my feet off the brakes and the vehicle will do the braking for me. And it will measure the amount of braking it needs per wheel multiple times a second, and it can separate the amount of braking it's getting per wheel. Whereas if I drive down the hill and use the foot brake, there's an element of human error. Maybe I do the wrong thing for too long, too much.
So when you're going down a steep hill, you don't really even need to worry about braking.
Correct.
The car will do it for you.
Correct. You only brake if you want to stop, but then you've got to decide, can I stop because of the grip level.
Wow.
So we're still driving. These systems are all here to help us. We're still ultimately in control, but it has made everything a lot easier. And with that, safer and more sympathetic to the vehicle. So here we go. The vehicle will now be lifted up into the air. So again, to reiterate, when I go down, I'll take my foot completely off, and that tells the vehicle to take over from me. If I use the foot brake, or indeed the accelerator, then it lets me have that pedal. So if I accelerate, we go. If I brake, then I'm in control of the brake pressure, which might be too much. So in loose surfaces or slippery surfaces, it's actually better, although it's counterintuitive, it's better to take your feet completely off the brakes and let the vehicle do the work for you.
Wow, yeah, literally tilted.
Yep.
Lean forward, look.
Ready to go. So all I do is I take my foot completely off the brake pedal, so my feet are right off, and you can feel we're not running away.
It's just controlled by the car.
Correct. And it will continue like that all the way along here, but as soon as I accelerate, it lets me drive. Yeah. And the next hill I go down, I take my feet off and it would work exactly the same again. So back to this. We have got an auto setting, auto terrain response. So in amongst all the mud programs and sand and rocks, we can actually use an auto one. So auto is very, very good for the car to figure out what setting it wants to change to. But like anything, there's an element of reaction time, so we feel a little bit of wheel slip there. Now it's controlled that. So it can't see, it can only feel.
So it's realised it had to make an adjustment, it was made that
Correct.
adjustment.
So it'll be sensing that through the height of the suspension and the little bit of wheel slip it got there. So it's more than likely gone into the rock crawling program on its own. It doesn't tell me, but you can, when you get used to the vehicle, you kind of know. But there we go.
Wow.
There is a bit of a glitch with the camera.
Grandad just said go to where he parked earlier.
Yeah.
To get up there.